Hello, lovelies. How are you doing? So I am so excited to spend this time with you today. Welcome to the Free Range Entrepreneur Experience. Now I'm just looking around at my screen to make sure that everything is okay and that you can all see this. I'm just going to check. Bear with me 1 second. Just want to make sure. Yep. Okay, perfect. So I can see myself talking, which is a little bit freaky. Okay, so let's get cracking. Hello, welcome to the Free Range Entrepreneur Experience. I'm Yasmin Boraji. And I'm going to be with you for the next few days over the course of this week and early next week. And we're going to be really focusing in on what it means to be a free range entrepreneur. Sorry, this is the usual malarkey. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to do this and my hand is going to make something fall off. So I do apologize about that in advance. But listen, hey, we're going to spend this time together. And I'm really, really excited to, welcome you in. On the page that you're watching this video, you will see that there is a chat box. So let me know in the chat box that you can hear me okay. And let me know where you're dialing in from. I'd love to hear. And hopefully all of this works. I haven't really used this system for a lot, really. So it would just be great for me to be able to see that, just to make sure that you can all. Yes, great. Hey, Mads, how you doing? Hello from London. Excellent. Yes, there's audio and video. Awesome. That is great news. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so comments aren't coming that way. I'm just going to have to switch between the two. So let's listen. It's all good. It's all good. Milton Keynes, one of my cousins lives there. Fantastic. Helen Toddington near Milton Keynes. Wow. There you go. Well, I'm calling in from Ireland. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not Irish. Don't tell anybody. I've lived here for nearly 20 years now, but I'm from Preston in Lancashire. So I'm a Lancashire lass. Right, let's get cracking. So what I wanted to do was just to kind of say hello first of all and introduce myself because if we've never met before, then I'm so excited that you're here. And if we have met before, then hey, it's great to see you again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be flipping over to my slides for kind of the bulk of the workshop, but I'll kind of flip backwards and check on the chat roll and all that kind of good stuff. Listen, this is an informal workshop. This is time dedicated to you. I want to help you create an incredibly fulfilling and freedom-filled business. Okay, that is my sole purpose for this week, is to spend this time with you, give you the very best that I have, so that you can walk away and go, right, okay, I'm really excited and I'm ready to, start this journey. And so, if you have questions, please put them in the chat box. We will have dedicated Q&A calls. I'll go through this shortly. So you will have time to get my eyes on your business. And I would really recommend that you take advantage of that, because that for me is one of the exciting things about being part of an experience like this, is that you get to ask your questions. And what I want to do is do, a hot seat, a couple of hot seats, maybe see, what happens on the night. So, if there's a particular issue that you're struggling with, and of course, thinking about your business as that freedom business, so do use the sessions that we have to kind of its optimum. But I'll talk you through what that looks like. But I wanted just to say hi, because I know sometimes it can be a bit weird listening to a disembodied voice, and when you're just seeing slides. So it's not a disembodied voice, it's me. I've had my dinner, I fed the children, I have my cup of tea. I hope you have a cup of tea too. I'm ready to rock and roll. The kids have all been told that they are under no circumstances to come into this room. So listen, my kids are 10, 7, and 4. They've all just recently had birthdays, so I can't remember exactly. So fingers crossed they all stick to their end of the bargain. The 10 and 7-year-old, yes. The 4-year-old, I can't guarantee anything. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and check. Oh, you all know Kathy. Fantastic. She's your cousin. I love it. I love it. You normally get that in Ireland, like, where somebody says, "Oh, do you know such and such a buddy?" And they go, "Oh, that's my cousin, my auntie, whatever." So anyway, let's get cracking. I'm going to flip over to the slides and we're going to get straight into the free range entrepreneur experience. So let me go. Okay. So this week is all about helping you to create the business and freedom that you dream of. I'm Yasmin Vorji. I'm the creator of Tiny Time, Big Results. And I wanted to create this experience for you because I think one of the things that has been very, very evident this year, and I don't know whether it's been evident to you, but it certainly has been evident to me, is, listen, none of us planned on a pandemic this year. And, over the last few months, this topic of freedom and this topic of creating a business that really works for you rather than the other way around has been really top of mind for me. And so I wanted to create this experience to help you get clearer on what that looks like for you, and also to, get you started on that journey if you're not there right now. Now, I'm just going to flip back and make sure. Okay, great stuff. Let me know at any stage if you cannot hear me, or if you're not seeing any of the slides moving, then please do let me know. I'm just going to periodically check in the chat box just to see. Okay, so what is a free range entrepreneur, you might be wondering? Well, here in the northwest of Ireland, where I live, it's a little town of about 4,000 people, and we get our eggs from a vending machine. So it's like they're local hens. And so one of the days I went to get them, and I was looking at all these chickens running around, and I thought, God, we always want to get free range. And I was looking at them thinking, look at them, I think got a great life. They're just roaming around. And it kind of got me thinking about entrepreneurs. So many of us start businesses where we want freedom and flexibility. And yet for a lot of business owners, that just isn't the reality. The reality is that we end up doing a lot of things that keep us tied, and that freedom that we were aspiring to doesn't actually materialize. And so a free range entrepreneur for me is someone who is creating a business that gives them the freedom that they desire. It gives you a lifestyle, and it allows you to do the work you love, attract dream clients with ease, and make the money and impact you desire. And desire is a really important word for me, because you might notice that I use that quite a lot. And the reason why I do that is because it's about that desire coming forth from you. When you want things, you're always in a state of wanting. And if you're familiar with the law of attraction, when you want something, you're always perpetually in that state of wanting. And whereas what I want to do is help you to kind of crystallize that desire and then actually make it happen as well. So you want to do the work you love, you want to attract dream clients, and you want to make the money and impact you desire. Now, this is absolutely possible for you. And the reason why I know that is because so many are already doing it. And that's the clue. So if you're looking around and you're thinking, oh, well, such and such a body's doing this and such a body's doing it, then that means that it's possible for you. And that for me is always the clue. So what this week is all about is opening the door to the infinite possibilities that exist for you. And I do believe that we have infinite possibilities. Sometimes it feels more contracted than that. But the truth is that infinite possibilities exist. And what we want to do is to invite you in and look at what that could look like for you. Like I said, freedom is an important value for many entrepreneurs and business owners, but, and this is a big but, many fail to achieve their vision. Many fail to make that happen, make it actually real. You might be familiar with this. You let yourself dream, you let yourself visualize, you let yourself think about what it would look like. But then the ego comes in and it runs amok. You couldn't possibly do this. You haven't got what it takes. You're fine where you are. And, and listen, my ego and I have a hate relationship, if you like, because I constantly hear that, you can't do that. You haven't got what it takes. And, don't be ridiculous. Don't push yourself out that way. And the truth is that when you have a big dream and you have a big vision, the higher the stakes, the bigger the ego gets and the bigger the ego's challenge is. And so what I want to really invite you to do is to really step into that vision that you have for your business. Business, you could be forgiven for thinking that a lot of business marketing and how to, it can be, very, like process driven, like go find your clients, tell them this, do this in the sales call. And there's so much that goes before that, before you actually get to the point where you're actually attracting clients. And this is kind of really the job of what we're going to be doing today, is to really, invite you to step into the vision. Because when you approach your work from this space, from this energy, then that really helps you to actually make it happen. It actually happens far quicker because you have done that. Okay, so your job is to step into it. Oh, Matt says he's a professional procrastinator. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Do you know, and maybe this is something that we've all found, as a lot of people have been at home for a long time now, it feels like anyway, that, you kind of go, oh, the laundry needs doing. Oh, that floor really needs sweeping up. Tell me in the chat box if that's you, that, you find other jobs that you can do, instead of maybe following up with that potential new client, you just have to get the dishes done. Listen, admit to it. Tell me in the chat box if that's you. I would love to hear. Yeah, Mad says, yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's no shame in it. We all do it. Okay. So your job is to step into it. And that's why I'm excited to bring you the free range entrepreneur experience. I'll tell you a funny story, actually, when I was kind of coming up with the idea. And it was all about freedom, and it was all about flexibility and being, free. And as I was writing the title of it, I thought, oh, do you know what? I better just acronymize it. Is that even a word? I better acronymize it so that it's easier for me to write it. And I started doing FREE. And I went, oh my God, it just spelled out free, which was a complete fluke. But I knew that was it was a step in the right direction. I knew that this was something that I really wanted to kind of bring to you. So I'm hoping that you're going to get so much out of this experience. This week is about creating more freedom in your business, giving you the opportunity to live the juiciest version of your business and life. I want you to sit in the energy of freedom this week with me. I want you to sit and feel like, what would it be like if you had all the freedom in your life, in your business, where you got to do the things that you really wanted to do? Maybe you were the type of person that said, I'm going to not work in July and August or November, December, and you were able to do that. I want you to really start thinking about what that looks like for you. And that's from a bigger picture. Maybe the freedom for you in your business is about the type of people that you're working with. Maybe it's the kind of work that you're doing. When you're in flow and when you're just doing the work you absolutely adore, there is so much beauty in that. And there is that sense of freedom. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, and I'll admit to you that sometimes I feel guilty about the fact that I love what I do, or that I get to do this. I look at somebody else. Now, my husband's a farmer, so he's always mad busy. And I think, God, he works so hard. And for me, it feels like as if, God, this is so easy. But it's because it comes easily to me. And it's going to be the same for you in your business. There's going to be things that you do that feel like they are so easy. And there'll be a part of you that thinks, oh, God, it shouldn't be that easy. And here's what I would really say to you is, that is a marker. That is a signpost for you to say that is actually what you should be doing more of. Okay. Okay. Hello, Kathy. How are you doing, love? Oh, it's like a little reunion. Awesome. Okay. So I want to show you how close you are to your freedom business, because there might be a part of you that thinks, no, this isn't my reality yet. Okay. You might be thinking that. And I want to show you just how close you are to your freedom business, because I've got a myth for you here, a myth alert. You need millions to create a freedom or a lifestyle business, that you're thinking, oh, no, I couldn't possibly do what I wanted to do and work when I wanted. I need to have made millions first. I'm really excited and happy to tell you it's not true. It's not true. We're going to be diving into this as we go throughout the week. Okay, so during this free range entrepreneur experience, you're invited to 3 highly valuable workshops. We've got 2 Q&A calls and a celebration party coming up for you. Okay, so you're going to have 3 workshops. So today we're going to be diving into your juicy vision. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be looking at the freedom killers. These are the things that will really stop you from having that business that gives you the freedom and lifestyle you want. Now, these are a mixture of internal and external factors. And so this is a really important one to come to, because honestly, you have to think about this because when you get all excited, remember I talked about ego? This is a big part of that journey. And then workshop 3, which is on Friday, is going to be all about your path to success and what your path looks like and how you're going to create that freedom business. Okay. We have 2 Q&A calls. So I'm going to be sharing with you a case study, and then there'll be opportunity for questions and answers. And that's going to be on Tuesday and Thursday. It's all the same time for during the week. From Monday to Friday, it's going to be 7 p.m. BST. So that's London, Dublin time. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be hosting a catch-up call. So if you miss any of the sessions during the week, not to worry, I'll be doing a bit of a recap on Saturday, just to bring you up to speed. And it'll be an opportunity for you to be able to ask any of your questions. And then we're going to have a little celebration party because, listen, we'll have just been on this immense epic journey together. And so who doesn't want a party? And quite frankly, we don't need really an excuse these days to have a party, considering we're all at home, not going anywhere, not doing anything outside the home. So we are going to have a little celebration party. You can bring your cups of tea or your pina coladas or your mocktails, whatever you want, to the party. Stay tuned because I'm going to share a little bit more about what we're going to be doing at the party. Let me just have a quick check at the chat roll. Kathy says, my business gives me a lot of freedom. Fantastic. It's one of the reasons I love what I do, but I would like to be even more free. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Love that. It's great to see you, Kathy. It's been a while. Okay, so let's go back. So remember, if you have any questions or if you have any aha insights or things that you just kind of come to you, then please do share in the chat box. It's great for me to be able to see that as well. All righty. So for those of you that maybe haven't met me before and we haven't spoken and you're thinking, who is this Yasmin chick? Then I wanted just to share a little bit about why this is so important to me. Why is freedom and flexibility so important to me? And I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to share this with you. I promise you, there are no pictures of Porsches, big mansions, or yacht holidays. I promise you, I don't do any of that crack. So listen, you're in safe hands, okay? Let me tell you though, when I was a teenager, I had a vision, right? It wasn't one of those visions. I didn't suddenly see a holy apparition or anything like that, although I do live in Ireland and, it's probably quite normal around here. But I had this dream. And I had this vision of freedom and flexibility. Now, honest to God, when I look back now as a woman in my 40s, I'm like thinking, how on earth did I even think about this? But this was something that was always going around in my head. That when I was, a teenager, I had this vision of being free, having freedom and flexibility. Now, partly it's down to the fact that as I was growing up in my culture, my parents are from India, and we had a lot of different restrictions, especially as girls. We had a lot of restrictions on us. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you had to wear this, and all that kind of stuff. And so there was the part of me that's always yearning for freedom. And so I always had this vision of what my adult life, my grown-up life would look like. And that was about being free. And a little did I realize that it would become such a big part of kind of my drive and my purpose. But I had this vision. And it was interesting because, like we were talking, well, I don't want to give away too much of my age, but I had this vague idea of going online. And even as I say that, I'm thinking, God, that seems ridiculous because of the time that it was at. But I had no real clue as what that looked like. I just had this vision of a computer. Maybe I was one of those prophetic visions, but, I just had this vision. But anyway, I forgot about that. I did my A-levels after my GCSEs, did my A-levels, went to university. I went to York University, did my degree, and pretty much, did the done thing. Just did what you normally do, go to university, do a degree, and then get a job. And I started working in corporate, which was meant to be a summer job, and I stayed there for 12 years. And I joined a financial services company, and I was in the training department, and I worked my way up from being, well, actually I was on the phones to begin with. So I was one of those people taking loan applications. So I was working in a call center, and I worked my way into the training department, and I discovered a passion for training and coaching. I absolutely adored it. It was like my dream job. And I just continued doing that. I moved to Ireland in 2001, and I joined the HR team. I managed a team of trainers, was delivering and developing all the management training education, and then working my way up to working with people in the C-suite, so the executive leaders of the company and the CEO. So before I left that role, I was vice president of leadership development. And in 2011, I was made redundant. And because it was kind of, a few years after the global financial crisis, and suddenly discovered that I didn't have a job anymore. And I was working here in the northwest of Ireland, so in a small town with 4,000 people. And I had a 15-month-old baby at home. My husband looked after him, so I was the main breadwinner. And it was at that moment when I realized that, oh, okay, what's going to happen here now? And I knew in that moment that I didn't want to go and find another job because I didn't want to be a commuter mom. That was absolutely what I did not want. Did not want to be a commuter mom. I didn't want to see my son in the morning and in the evening. I wanted to be, I wanted to see him grow up, and we wanted to have more children as well. And so I decided that I was going to start my own business, which is something that I had always wanted to do. So this was it. This was my big break. My big break. Yeah, I really wish that was true. So I started my business in 2012, and I started working. I call it the wilderness, because I really was in the wilderness. I'd worked in big business for 12 years. And yet when it came to actually starting my own business, it felt completely alien to me. I didn't know what I was doing. When I think about my book now that I wrote a couple of years ago, I think, God, if only someone had given me a book like that and tell me exactly what to focus on and what to do, that would have made my life so much easier. But listen, we all have our own journeys. And so after 2 years in the wilderness, I worked with a coach, and we realized that there was something very unique that I was helping my clients to do. And in that moment, my third baby was born. So in between all of this, I had my daughter, and this was my third baby. This was not a human baby. This was Tiny Time Big Results. And what I started to do was teach people about productivity. I was able to get a lot done in very, very short space of time. And I was able to help my clients get that. And so we realized that there was this phenomenon of creating big results with tiny time. But But as I worked with clients and as I did this in my own business, and this is really important that, because everything that I talk about is all things that I've done, and I've also helped with my clients, is that actually true freedom in business is not about how you use your time. It's partly the story, but it's not really the full story. Okay. And I'd love to just stop there for a second and just think, what do you think true freedom in business is? What will allow you to really create true freedom? Okay, tell me in the chat box, what do you think? Oh, thanks, Kathy. Kathy says it's a great book. I'd love to know, what do you think gives you freedom in your business? Or don't be shy. Okay, I'll wait for them to come back in again and I'll go back in. Okay, I will give you the answer. True freedom occurs when you leverage your time, your money, and your expertise. This is what I've discovered, is that when you actually use the time, the money, and the expertise you have, the resources, if you substitute the word money for resources, and you leverage them, that is actually when you create true freedom in your business. The thing is, I didn't want to build an empire. I wanted a business that would give me a lifestyle and a legacy, something that I would leave behind, that would touch the lives of the people that I was here to serve. So it wasn't like, oh, I want to have this big business that I would then take public or I would sell or anything like that. I wanted a business that I would just absolutely adore. It allowed me to do the work that I loved. It would give me the income for me and my family to live the lifestyle that we wanted, and that it would make an impact. I wanted that more than anything, was to be able to actually help other people. And so for me, that was what it was all about. And this is what I've been doing for the last few years, is building on that, is thinking, okay, so how do we leverage your time, your expertise, your resources? What do you do specifically? And that's what I do now, day in, day out, with myself, my clients, my community. That's what I want to do, is just show people how to create this freedom in your business. Like I said, in 2018, I wrote my book, which was a bestseller. It's an award-winning book, but it's all about how to create that profitable 20-hour week business. And for me, this is an adventure. I don't say to, I'm always a bit loath to kind of say I'm any kind of guru, because I'm really not. But I feel like I have something of value that you're going to benefit from. And that's why I do this, because I just love hanging out with you. And so, everything that I do, I've done it myself and I've taught my clients to do it, and they've got phenomenal results as a consequence. And that's what Tiny Time Big Results is all about. And so it began. So what I want to do is just share with you a couple of thoughts really on what freedom is not in business. Let me just go back to the chat. Let me just see. Okay, so you've got Kathy says, freedom from worry about where the money and the clients are coming from next month. Yes, absolutely. So this is the question of, what is true freedom in business? Doing something I love. Absolutely. I love that, Peggy. Thank you. Time and money, doing something I love, enough clients. Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And so we're kind of clear as to what this looks like. For the majority of us, we don't want to have to worry about clients. We don't want to have to worry about making money, that you're doing what you absolutely love. And I think that's a really important piece of this. And I love that a good few of you have said that, purely because they're the kind of people that I love working with anyway. Like, I love hanging out with people who love what they do. It's not a case of like, oh, I've got to go and do this workshop, I hate what I do, because that really is that's not what fun is about at all. And we do what we do because we love it, and we know that it's going to have a positive impact in the world. And so I think that's pretty much a byproduct of the kind of people that are in this community anyway. Awesome, amazing, positive people who want to have a positive impact in the world. So let's think about what freedom is not in business. And if you resonate with any of these, then, you can just say I, and, you can share what you feel like, what feels constrictive for you, like what freedom is not for you. If I had to say what doesn't make you feel free in your business, then, feel free to share that in the chat box. So here's a couple of things that I would say definitely do not make you feel free in your business. First of all, credit card, any kind of debt, where you are, amassing the bills, but you're sitting there going, oh God, how am I going to pay this? Waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not a free feeling. And I talk a lot about feeling because that is, whatever you're feeling indicates what you're thinking. And so, if you're feeling bad, then you got to think about, what you're thinking about. And you think, okay, so I'm feeling this feeling in the pit of my stomach. It's feeling like my stomach is clenching. What am I thinking about? And you think, oh, I'm worried about how I'm going to pay the credit card bill, or I'm going to worry about how I'm going to pay that loan, whatever it might be. Like, that's not freedom. That's not freedom at all. If, on the other hand, you had credit card and you say, yeah, there's the bill, I pay it in full, that's freedom. There's not anything wrong with credit cards per se. Bills to pay. And feeling stress about the bills. And I think that's a really important distinction because, listen, we all have bills to pay, your mortgages, your rents, your electricity, all of those things. But they're all the things that we need as well. Like, I couldn't do this with you if, I didn't have electricity or I didn't have the internet. And so we all have bills to pay. But when there's stress around them, that is not freedom. Let me just make sure that everything is great. Not feeling free, feeling stretched within my tiny time. Yes, Kathy, completely get that. Absolutely. Washing machine going on the blink and being stressed about that. And listen, it could be a washing machine, it could be a dishwasher, it could be, your TV, it could be anything. But something that's gone wrong in the house and you are worried about it and it's causing you stress because now it's an additional expense. That's not feeling free. Wanting a dream home, but it feels like it's just a pipe dream, where as soon as you start thinking about it, you start thinking, oh, that's never going to happen. That is not feeling free. Worrying that you're going to have to get a job to pay the bills. And, sometimes, and I have this conversation with my 10-year-old sometimes, where I think, God, how did we get to this point where everything in life is about paying the bills? How did we get to this point? Like, when did we stop thinking about what we would love to do and how we would add value to the world? And it became about getting a job that you may not even necessarily like, but to pay for a house that you don't even get to be in because you're at your work, or you pay for the car that takes you to the work that you don't really want to be at. Sometimes it boggles my mind. Like, I remember when I was at school and my mum and dad, lovely, typical Indian people who were like, you need to go and get a degree that's going to get you a good job. And they were pretty I'm not going to say disgusted, that's probably too strong. They're dismayed that I chose sociology and politics to be my degree, because my dad always said that was really airy-fairy. But it's this idea that we just do a job. And maybe there's a part of you that's thinking, well, if I can't make this business work, then I'm going to have to go and get a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to think about, well, if I didn't have to do that, where could I put my energy and my focus? Nightmare clients. That doesn't make you feel free. People that you work with that maybe you shouldn't have taken on. Maybe they're not a right fit for you. So there's nothing wrong with them, but they're just not the right fit for you. And all it does is create a lot of stress for you. That certainly is not feeling free. Feeling free is when you're feeling like you're having to chase those clients, or feeling desperate on sales calls. Have you ever been on the receiving end of a sales call where somebody is like, okay, so shall I put you down for that? Yeah. Right. And you're like thinking, okay, I'm feeling really pushed into this. And nobody wants to be that person. Nobody wants to be in a position where you really need that person to say yes. But unfortunately that, it has happened. or unexpected bills, or a bill that was a bit bigger than you anticipated. It's a bit like going to get your car serviced and then realizing that they said, oh, you need to get all of this stuff done. You always know it's a bad sign when they take a sharp intake of breath like that. Maybe you are feeling restricted in your business because you want to pay or you want to get support, but you can't pay for it. So you want to maybe get a virtual assistant, or maybe you want to get some particular software or a coaching program or a training program that's going to help you to move forward in your business, but that's making you feel restricted because you can't pay for that. That is not feeling free in your business at all. Not to be able to pay for expected bills. Yeah, absolutely. Ads, yeah. Not feeling free, finding too much time on social media, finding too much time or spending too much time. Is that what you mean, Helen? Spending too much time? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. Spending too much time on social media. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I'm very, very conscious of is, I could be sat there and I think, what am I doing? And listen, I'm always the first one to put my hand up and say, as soon as you start thinking, am I actually getting a return here? That doesn't make you feel free. If you spent 15 minutes on social media a day and you went, right, okay, I've done what I needed to get done, then you can walk away. But if you're on it all the time, then you feel like you're tied to it, or someone saying to you, some social media expert telling you that you need to be posting 5-10 times a day. And you're like, oh my God, this feels exhausting. That's not feeling free at all. Or, being a bit of an ostrich around the money in your business, finances, the state of your business. Listen, we all have those dips, where you think maybe this isn't what I should be doing, or maybe I need to refocus my business. The P word that's been used a lot this year, pivot. There might be a part of you that thinks, I don't even want to look at any of that. What I would really encourage you to do this week is to look at it, to look at your business with a fresh pair of eyes and think, if I could start with a clean slate, and this you can do irrespective of whether you've been in business for, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. But if you could wipe the slate clean and you just thought, what would I do differently? That is such a powerful question. It's a bit like me saying, if I wish someone had given me my book when I first started. And I think, and I actually did this recently after I had a session with one of my coaches. And she says, what would you do differently? And I thought, God, that is such a powerful question, because I'd always assumed that I couldn't. And there were certain aspects of my business I thought, I'd like to make a few changes there. That was a really, really powerful question. So I would highly encourage you to do that. Now we've talked about what freedom isn't. We've talked about what causes that restriction and constriction in you, all the things that don't make you feel like you're enjoying your business, and that you're not really creating the experience that you want. Now let's talk about what freedom is. Let's talk about the juicy stuff. Let's talk about what actually is really, really exciting. Like for me, and for those of you that have already shared this, doing what you love, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, have you ever noticed that those moments when you're completely in the flow? Maybe you're working with a client, you're doing some work, maybe you're building a website, whatever it is that you're doing in your business. Maybe you're developing a training program, or you're coaching your client, you're taking people through a health transformation, you're helping people improve their relationships. And that moment when you just feel this immense joy. And you're just like, oh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is so what I'm meant to be doing. I'm in exactly the right place. Like that. Oh my God, it's amazing. And, like as I'm speaking, I can feel like the joy and the excitement bubbling away inside of me. And that's when you feel free. When I was in corporate, I loved my job, but there were certain parts of it that I really, really did not like. And there were many days when I would go in and I would really be bored. I'd be like, oh, this isn't allowing me to really do what I love. And when you're in business, the more opportunities that you can create that allow you to do what you absolutely love, then the more powerful it is. Okay. Matt says, return on investment time spent. Yeah, absolutely. Yes to doing what I love, but my clients don't often want to pay for it when I do it. I do pre-job consultancy for clients. Okay, interesting, Matt. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay. Freedom is when you get to work with people you really, really love hanging out with. Like now. You know, when you get to spend time with your people, your tribe, people that get you, that people who, share similar values to you, the people that you know that you can help, and this could be your clients, this could be your colleagues, these could be people that you go to conferences with, these could be your business buddies, just the people that you want to spend your time with. That famous quote about, think about the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. If you think about it from a business perspective and you think, yeah, who am I spending my time with? And that really will help to give you an indication as to, whether you're actually spending time with the people that you really love, the type of people that you love spending time with. This one is a big one for me, creativity, like getting to be creative. Like when I talk about being bored in corporate, it's like, oh, you've got to do another executive onboarding plan. And there was a template and I just had to fill all the gaps in and, set up meetings and stuff. And whilst the geeky, nerdy bit of me loved doing that, there was also very limited opportunities for me to be truly creative, for me to make things look pretty. I'm all about the aesthetics. And, but when I get to do that now, like that gets me it puts me in my happy place, Taking time off for holidays. Maybe that's not quite what's possible for us right now. Or maybe that's you sitting in your own garden, enjoying the sunshine, but getting to take holidays, getting to take breaks without worrying about your business. And I think that's the key here, that freedom is about being able to go and take the time off, but you're not worried about, what's going to happen with the business because I'm not there. This for me is a biggie, going and buying the food that you love. When you think about, if you go to a really nice food shop, I'm a real foodie. If you don't know this about me already, I love food. I talk about food a lot. I like to eat food. I like to cook food. And so for me, like going food shopping is actually one of, might sound sad, but that actually is one of the highlights of my week because I just love food. And for me, I have this whole thing about planning my meals in advance and what I'm going to make and then getting all the ingredients together. And I literally have turned into my mother. I will say this. Because she's and her and her sister, they're very funny because they are always on the phone to each other. My mum lives in Preston. My auntie lives in Warwickshire, in the Midlands. And they're always on like, have you watched this YouTube video? So I pretty much, myself and my sister have also taken after them as well. So getting to buy really gorgeous, yummy food like that for me feels really free and expansive. Getting the kids the stuff that they want. Not that you get them everything because you don't want them to be spoiled, but being able to give them what they want without having to say, no, we can't afford that. Or, oh, I forgot my purse, which I've done that a couple of times, but that was just, I knew well that my son wanted something. But being able to give your family, your loved ones, the things that they want and without feeling guilt, that's freedom. Helen says, working the hours I want to work is great. Giving myself Thursday morning off to horse ride. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I do love that, Helen. That's awesome. I'm going for my horse ride now. Yes. For me, actually, Helen, one of my my little confessions is because I work mostly, well, all my working hours are in the morning when the kids are at school and my youngest is in preschool. And there'd be the odd time where I just want to sneak off and make a cup of coffee and watch This Morning on ITV. That for me is a bit of a hooky thing to do. Or go for a walk is my preferred one, but sometimes I will watch This Morning. Where freedom is also where you get to, support charities and the causes that you really love, where you get to help other people get what they want. That for me is so powerful. We talk a lot about the power that money has. And I do believe that it's upon all of us that, us being, not having the financial resources doesn't actually help anybody else. So my belief is that you know, us all having plenty means that we can then share that with other people. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not that, if, Helen has all the money, that means that Mads can't have the money. It doesn't work like that. There's so much out there. And that for me is really, truly about living that abundant lifestyle, where you really just, it's not just abundance about money, but it's about the abundance of time. Like, how many times have you thought about, I wish I had the time to do X, Y, and Z, or I don't have the time. I recently lost a very good friend of mine to cancer. And it really hit me in the gut. It was only a week and a half ago now. A week, just over a week. And, and you think that's the one thing that we don't have. And that for me is why Tiny Time Big Results is such a powerful motivator, because we actually don't have a huge amount of time on this earth anyway. And so how can we make the very, very most of it? I want you to have this truly abundant lifestyle where you get to do the work you love. You get to horse ride on a Thursday morning. You get to watch This Morning, or you get to just work 3 days a week, or take July and August off, and November and December, and maybe a few extra holidays thrown in there as well. You have that financial cushion so that you are making the money, but you're not worried in case anything happens. You've got a financial cushion. This is what freedom is. And it's not something that everyone just has. This is something that you work towards, but it's so important because you want to be able to have that vision of it first, which is what today is all about. Getting to take time off, I think, is such a powerful one. Now, which is a little bit ironic because most of the time I work about 2 to 3 hours a day. So you would think that I have a lot of time off, but I have another job, which is an all the time job, which is being a parent. And so, for me, it's homework and dinners and school runs and all that kind of stuff. But I feel thrilled and privileged to be able to get to do all of those things. But for me, that's what it's all about. It's about creating this incredible lifestyle that feeds me and my soul. And I want you to think about what that looks like for you. So let's get specific. Okay, let's get specific for you. I want you to think about what is your vision. Okay, just going to go back to the chat. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Mads. Thank you. So what's your vision? I know some of you have shared some of these things already. What does freedom mean to you? So it's doing what you love, not worrying about the bills, not worrying about, not having money in the bank account. Like, what would having more freedom in your business do for you? Like, if you think about the next 6 months, if you had more freedom, and we'll break that down as to what that looks like for you. But if you had more freedom, what would that do for you? Would it be a mental thing, as in, how you think? Would you feel like you had more space to breathe, to be more creative? Would you feel like it would give you more opportunities to envision what else is possible? Like, here's what I know for sure, that in the times in my business where I have felt very restrictive and, things weren't going as well as I would have liked them to have, I could not see the wood for the trees. Because when you're in that mindset of like, okay, just need to cover this and we just need to pay these bills, and you're like a little rabbit, and all you can see is what's ahead of you. But I know that once you've created leverage and freedom in your business, it allows you to kind of hover over. You kind of go up and you hover, and you can then see what the full picture looks like. You can then look at, okay, what else could I do in my business that would help me to grow? What could I do, to create more partnerships, more collaborations? How could I raise my profile? What kind of podcast interviews could I do? How could I pitch to media, whatever it might be? What would having more freedom in your business do for you? So let's take a very specific benchmark. Imagine you, for the next 6 months, you completely covered your bills and you had money left over. Say you had 50% more in your bank account. What would that do for you? I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the chat box, what would that do for you? Kathy says, I'd be more relaxed, could take time for bigger projects, be creative, plan when I work, not feel the need to be earning money, chasing the money. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I completely concur. I think that's actually one of the biggest things that people really feel like the freedom could do for them in their business. It's that you're not tied into that day-to-day struggle. And you're able to take that step back and you think, okay, so what else could I do? For me, it's always been about that space for creativity. And, building up to that in my business, took time for me just purely because I didn't know that's what I was working towards. But once it got really clear, I was like, oh, okay. And once I had a taste of that, then I was like, okay, now I'm going to replicate that. I'm going to replicate that. That meant then that I was able to. That's the sole reason why I was able to write the book. And the story around the book is that I'd been writing my book for about 2 to 3 years. I'd been kind of doing little snippets, 500 words here, 500 words there. And early in 2018, I sent a little bit portion of the book to an editor, and she came back with loads of questions. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, I've written absolute rubbish. Absolutely rubbish, and no way, Jose. And so I binned the whole lot and I rewrote the book in a month. I wrote 35,000 words in a month. And I look back and I think, how on earth did I do that? But I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was writing for a couple of hours every day before the kids woke up, before I got them ready for school. And then I'd do a couple of hours like client work. But it was only because I had created leverage in my business that allowed me to give me that space to be able to actually get the book out. And then the book actually has helped me to create more business as a result, which was the whole purpose of it, was to bring more people into my world and to share with them about what they could do and how it would all work for them. And so, but if I did not have that leverage in my business, I would have still been stuck in the day to day. I would have literally been like little rabbit and, just not having the space to be able to do that, not having the headspace, not having the heart space, and it would have been really, really uncomfortable. Helen says, allow my husband to leave his job, which makes him unhappy. Absolutely. For me, I feel like I'm not chasing my tail the whole time. So much to do and not enough time. I hear you, sister. I know, yeah, that not enough time. But imagine if you didn't need more time and you just use the time that you do have, and that you were able to create an incredible impact and effect with the time that you already had, that you didn't actually need more time. Matt says, start building long-term income. Yeah, larger projects, something with a passive income earner whilst not chasing jobs at the bottom of the day rate. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. I completely concur on that. Yeah, because it gives you the space to think, okay, well, maybe I want to create a course that's going to bring in that passive income. So I'm not relying on that. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so what's your vision? So how much money would create space and freedom in your business? And these are just some questions I want you to think about. What's your freedom number? And when I talk about freedom number, I'm thinking, what would be the amount of money that you'd want to bring in every month that would give you that sense of freedom. I said before that, your bills and everything are paid for and you have 50% more. Is that what the figure is for you? What's your number? And it's really important to know what your number is, just purely because if you don't know what you're working from, I remember someone saying to, I can't remember where I heard this, but they said, oh, you want to make $1 million a year. How much would you be making in a month? And they were like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, so how can you tell me that you want $1 million? You don't even know what that breaks down to. It was something like 83,333, something like that. And you think, oh, okay, I need to make 80K plus to make $1 million. But if you don't know what the number is, like maybe your number is 5K, maybe your number is 10K, 15K, it doesn't really matter. Everyone's number is going to be different. But the number that you choose, I want you to think about the feeling that it creates in you. And this is so important. Like if there's a number in your, if you've got a number in your mind, say it's 5K, and you think, oh my God, that would give me such an amazing feeling of expansion. It would make me feel abundant. Then that's your freedom number. And it doesn't mean that you have to stay there. You you go, oh, I've hit my 5K. Now I want 7.5 or 10. This isn't about being greedy. This is about your aspiration and really thinking about what this means for you and allowing yourself to actually dream that, rather than sitting there thinking, no, I shouldn't be thinking that. I want you just to think, actually, do you know what? At the beginning, we talked about infinite possibilities exist. So why can't you? And this is something that I shared recently. I can't remember whether it was a podcast or just a normal video that I did. But Einstein talks about how all possibilities exist in this moment right now. There is no future. There is no past. The only moment that we have right now. And in this moment, there are multiple possibilities that exist. So I want you to imagine that the freedom business that you have, or that you dream and aspire to have, already exists. And that's what I mean by stepping into that. So what's your freedom number? If you woke up in the morning and you were making your morning brew and you just stood there waiting for the kettle, and you thought, what would I say it's Yasmin, and say your vision is 50K, and you say, right, what would Yasmin, who's making 50K a month, be doing right now? What would she be thinking? What would she be feeling? And you think, oh my God, I'd feel like so excited. Or I'd be thinking, oh, I want to go and, I don't know, buy some Swarovski encrusted slippers. You know full well that that's so not me. But I want you to think about what your freedom number is. Tell me what you think. Okay, cool. Mad says 8K after business expenses, but I like the idea of 50K. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Are you going to have some Swarovski encrusted slippers as well, Mads? Helen says 4K. Perfect. There you go. Awesome. Brilliant. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, fantastic. So your freedom number. I want you to hold on to that. So remember, that's where you're starting. Think about the time, because time is the resource that's not renewable. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So how many hours do you want to work in your business? Where do you work from? How big is your team? Do you even have a team? Like, how many hours do you want to work in your business? So you think, I want to work 3 hours a day, or I want to work 2 full days. Think about what your freedom business looks like. And how many hours do you want to work in it? Where do you work from? Do you work from your home? Do you have one of those cute little pod shed type things in the garden? Do you have offices? Do you have a big team? Do you have a small, compact, but mightily powerful team? You think about how you're spending your time in your business. What kinds of things are you doing in your business? Do you have someone who looks after the social media aspect of things? Do you have technology that does a lot of the, repurposing for you? Do you have someone who does all the techie stuff for you? Do you have someone who does all the emails? Like, I want you to really get into the energy of what this would look like. You think, I don't look at my emails. I get to do what I love to do. I spend 80% of my time doing the things that I am really good at. And remember, in your business, your zone of genius is where the magic will happen. But when you dilute your time and your effort and everything by doing all the other stuff, then you don't get to be in your zone of genius. And so if you had to make a decision, you think, okay, think about it from the perspective of, okay, in a day I'm working on this, this, and this. Actually, what of those things, which ones do I need to do? And what is there something that someone else could do for me? I remember, it's not about, you don't have to hire people, you don't have to employ people, but there's lots and lots of contractors out there. Self-employed contractors or virtual assistants, people who specialize in in the things that you don't want to do. I remember in corporate when we used to do appraisals. They always talked about your strengths and then your areas of improvement, thinking that if we focused on our areas of improvement, that would make us better. And yes, there'll be certain things that you need to work on in order to do your job better. But wouldn't it be amazing if we actually really truly lived in our zones of genius, created from that space, and we created a solution for all the other stuff? Like, imagine what would that do to you, for you rather? Would that make you feel free? Yep. No, Mads doesn't want Swarovski encrusted slippers. Fair enough. Peggy says, good question. Kathy, yours is 2K a month. 2K a month, so 36K. Should that be 3K a month, Kathy? 40 hours, but with time built in to spend with my boys. Fabulous. Well, you have 2 boys. I have 2 boys too. Work in a cafe or in a garden, or in the garden rather. Nice. Someone who does the admin of courses. Yes. Yeah. And listen, you know what? Like, I don't know if you know this, but Kathy says I'm tired. That's okay. If you can turn 2K a month into 36K, I want to know what you're having. There are people out there who love to do all the things that you don't like to do. It's their zone of genius. So, trust me, there's amazing resources out there. Helen says to work 30 hours a week, 42 weeks a year, social media guru to help me work at home, outside, or from a horse box. Is the social media guru helping you from the horse box? Perfect. Great stuff. Okay. Lovely. Think about your clients. Freedom about who you want to work with. How do they find you? We talk a lot about social media. Maybe social media is not how they find you. Maybe it's a very honed system that you have for referrals or word of mouth or media. Now, there's lots and lots of different ways that they can find you. And it really is about finding the method that works for you. What's your profile like? Are you the world's best kept secret? Or do people know about you? Are you visible enough? How do you market? Do you market? That's probably the first question, because I know that marketing can be one of the big challenges for a lot of business owners, which is quite interesting because I really enjoy marketing. I think of it as attraction. And, for me, it's very much around, okay, so who would really benefit from what I'm sharing and what I'm teaching? And so when you put out amazing value and you share your message, you share your passion, you share your mission and your purpose, then you'll start attracting those people who really resonate with that, instead of seeing it as, I am now marketing, because then that feels like it's something that you're forced to do, that you have to do, whereas you want to get to do these things. Are you clear on who you want to work with? Are you clear on what they are like? Because honestly, there's nothing more exciting than and that gives your days so much juice than when you're actually working with people that you really, really enjoy working with. It makes a big, big difference. Okay. So what I want to do is just do a little exercise with you now. Okay. And what I want you to do is, it's called a 5-minute dreaming exercise. Okay. I'm just going to actually come back to, let me go back to, oh yeah, I keep doing that. Okay. I'm going to come back to here, right? Because what I want to do is, God, that's a bit bright now, isn't it? I want to do this little bit of an exercise with you where we're going to spend just 5 minutes, right? I'm going to do 2.5 minutes where you're just going to close your eyes and you're just going to take some deep breaths. Okay. I'm going to time it. I'm going to do 2.5 minutes. And then what I want you to do is, for 2.5 minutes, I want you to, if you have a pen and paper, that'd be great, is I want you just to start writing down what your freedom business looks like. Okay. Now, please do this activity, because I know that sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it's a bit like when someone says, oh, we're going to do a role play. I'm not going to make you do a role play, but I just want you to think about what this looks like. And the beauty of this exercise is that when you are writing, you don't take your pen off the paper. You literally just write. Okay? Because what happens is all the things that you are, that you don't allow to kind of bubble up because you think, oh, that's not possible. Maybe don't think that's going to work. All of that comes up. So you keep your pen on your paper and you just keep writing. Okay. So for the purpose of this activity, all I want you to do is get yourself comfortable. Ooh, okay. Okay. Get yourself comfortable. And I'm going to use my timer here. I'm going to set it for 2.5 minutes. Okay. So close your eyes. I'm going to take a deep breath. And all we're doing now is just taking some time. If a thought comes, imagine it's just a cloud in the blue sky. You're the blue sky. The cloud drifts away. I want you to think about what we've been talking about so far. Think about what's got you excited about what we've talked about. Was there anything that came up that you thought, oh, I would love that? I would absolutely love that. Just feel the excitement. Feel the joy. Step into that feeling. Step into the 8K a month, 4K a month, 3K a month. Step into that version of you that makes that money. Oh, that feels good. Okay. That's your 2.5 minutes. Now what I want you to do is, without looking at anything else, just take your pen and start writing on your paper. Okay? Just start writing. My freedom business. How much money I'd be making. Who would I be working with? Who are my dream clients? How many hours would I be working? Started the timer so you can just start writing as I'm speaking. Okay? How many hours am I working? How many weeks do I work? How much money am I making? What kind of products and services am I offering? I'm offering consultancy, but I also have online courses that create passive income. Just think about what that looks like. Keep writing. Don't take your pen off the paper. You're doing great. Keep going. Let yourself fully imagine. Just a few more seconds. Really get into the feeling of it. Think of yourself as a piece of chicken that's being marinated. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to come up now. Perfect. Tell me, how was that experience for you? If you want to share, then put it in the chat box. I'd love to know how you found that. Did anything come up that you hadn't thought about before? That's always really exciting because you think, ooh, never knew that that was a desire. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? So let me know in the chat box. Okay. The dream. Let me see in the chat box. Oh, Helen, I love that. I love the 4K a month me. Do you know what though? You're it. You're already her. You just have to step into that. That's exciting, isn't it? Like this is the secret to really tapping into the juicy vision, is when you actually can see it and feel it and you step into it. Kathy, very interesting. Not so much about the money. Absolutely. That's 100%. Want to make a difference? Want to bring peace and joy to the world by bringing peace and joy to families. Oh, gorgeous. I love that. And absolutely, Kathy, like it's not always about the money. And you know, and it's an interesting phenomenon that where people, there's research that's been done that, you get to make a certain amount of money, and having more money doesn't actually make you any happier. So there's a level where, when all your needs are met and your family and everything's taken care of, but having more money doesn't make you happier. It just kind of plateaus out. But then that's where making a difference, making an impact, they are, more powerful from driving you and your purpose. So that's perfect. Mad says, interesting, dreamed higher than what I would normally. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I love that. I love that. Bigger facilities, bigger projects, and freedom with kids and general lifestyle. Oh, I love that was a bigger dream than you originally, or that you normally would do. Peggy says, interesting, feeling excited about the possibility to work with women who want to be empowered. Fabulous. Also about being able to earn some income from streams that don't need me to be there. Yes. Honestly, I can hand on my heart. Where's my heart? Hand on my heart tell you that there actually is no greater feeling than when you look at your phone and you've got a PayPal notification, or somebody's paid you for whatever it might be. Like it could be for a small course, it could be for a big course, it could be for the book, it could be for whatever. And this is what's really exciting about what's actually possible when you dream. But the problem is, like I said at the beginning, that you have all of these dreams and these visions, but when you allow ego to come in and start telling you all the reasons why you can't have that, that's when you have to really step into the 4K a month, or the true Kathy. And that's what I always think of it as true Yasmin. It's like being directed and guided by my highest self. So what would true Yasmin feel in this moment, as I'm boiling the kettle? If I'm making 50K a month, then I kind of go, yeah, this is how she'd be feeling. And so then you step into that, and that's what makes it juicy. I'm listening to, and this, I'll give you a recommendation for a book. I'm reading actually I'm rereading, and I'm also listening to it as an audiobook as well. It's A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Gikandi. Not David Cameron, don't get me started. David Cameron Gikandi. And it's all about your consciousness and quantum mechanics, if you like. One of the things that he talks a lot about is how your state creates conditions. Who you are and how you show up creates the conditions that then, the situations, the circumstances, everything happens in your life based on what is coming from you. Okay, so it starts with you. Highly recommend that book. Okay. Kathy also says flexible work, not number of hours a week. Yeah, can work more one week and less another. Yeah, absolutely. And like, that's the beauty of it. Like, if you have got something like a passive income stream or something that works without you being physically present, then that means that you don't actually have to be present. Just pretty awesome. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. You got some fantastic. Oh, what's the name of the book again? It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. David Cameron Gikandi. That's Gikandi. And I'm listening to the audio of the book on YouTube. It's a free, so I listen to that when I'm out for my walks. Really, really awesome book. Okay, let's go back to the slides. So this is what I want you to do, right? I want you to get the creative juices flowing. And this is something that I like to do pretty regularly, because it's a way of helping me to stay focused and really tapped into my juicy vision, if you like. So what I'm going to ask you to do for your homework, if you like, for this workshop, is I want you to create your own vision board that epitomizes your freedom business vision. And I want you to come and share in the group. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, then please do. There seemed to have been some problem with the link. So if you can't get in, then just let me know. But I want you to come and share your vision board. So I want to share with you my vision board, just so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. Like, and this isn't like, I did this in PowerPoint. I literally just picked up pictures, photos and things like that, and just put them into a PowerPoint slide. And that's all I did. So, this isn't about getting all, I haven't got magazines or any of that kind of stuff. This is not what this is about. Okay. All I did was I literally just took screenshots of the things that I would really, really love. And that becomes a part of my vision. So my vision there, like I said, I've talked to you about how much I love food. So that's why there's some lovely scones and growing vegetables and fruits, having a beautiful kitchen, having our dream home. My family's there, my husband and our 3 children, being a best-selling author, my dream office. At the moment, I share this space with my 10-year-old son. So my vision of a dream office is a really big, spacious one with lots and lots of books on it, because I love my books. Speaking in front of audiences, look, there I am boiling a kettle again. See, you think I jest when I tell you that I'm always talking about eating, but I'm really not. Coaching my clients, this for me, when I look at this gets me so excited, because I think I'm doing it. And for me, it's all about just magnifying it and making it be bigger. Okay. So this is what I would love for you to do, is to create your own vision board. Okay. Something that is going to epitomize your freedom business vision. And this is something that you're then going to put up, wherever you're working, or, maybe on the fridge or somewhere that you're going to see it all the time. Maybe you are, you put it, you have multiple copies around the house. But I want you to have it prominent so that you can see it, because the more you tap into it, the faster it's going to be actually made possible and visible, because your mind is thinking in those pictures, and it's going to see that, and it's going to like, yes, this is what I want. Okay. So who's up for making a vision board? Oh, perfect. Oh, Mads, excellent. Oh, definitely share it. And, because you said that your vision was bigger than what you would do normally, I would challenge you to maybe create a new one. If you're up for it, if you're up for the challenge, I'd love to see that. Okay, so now I did promise you that I was going to share with you something very exciting. Now, I know that you can do these exercises or you might choose not to do them. I know that when in the actual doing, this is when you allow these things to come into your experience. Okay, so you can dream and visualize until the cows come home. But when you're actually taking action, this is allowing the reception of this vision to actually be manifested. So I've got a little competition for you. Okay, so what I would love for you to do is I want you to, well, I'm going to tell you the prize first. I'm going to tell you how you can enter into the competition. And this competition is going to be running for the whole duration of the entrepreneur experience. And I'm going to be announcing the winner at the party on Monday, next Monday. So a week on Monday. Okay. So what you're going to get is when you take part in this competition, the winner will actually get a VIP day with me. And during the session, I'm going to show you how to attract more of your dream clients with ease, leverage your offers, and sell with ease and grace. I'm going to show you how to get a whole lot more done by doing less. Now, this is a powerful, powerful container for you because I want to show you how you can create that freedom business. I'm going to show you how to structure your business to enable you to do that. And you get that as a prize. So when you take part in the competition, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, you could be in with a chance to win a VIP day with me and also a 3-month subscription to my membership program, the Multiplier membership, which essentially gives you access to me and support, coaching, a ton of resources to help you to grow and scale your business working just 20 hours a week or less. So the total value of the prize is €2,100. And to get into the competition, if you go to inspire.yasminvorji.com/free range contest, you'll see all the details that you need there. How do you enter? You grab a selfie of yourself watching the workshops or creating your vision board or journaling. Use the phrase creating my freedom business with @YasVorji. That's my Instagram tag. And please also use the hashtags hashtag we love freedom business and hashtag tiny time big results. So every time you post a selfie, that gives you 1 entry. Okay. And then we'll be picking the winner at random for next week's celebration party. And what I would invite you to do is, let me just, what did I do with that? Hold on, I've missed something. Okay, yeah, I'll come back to that now. So that's how you get into the competition to win a VIP day with me and 3-month membership in the Multiplier membership program. Now, tomorrow we have our first Q&A call, and that is where you get my eyes on your business. So it's going to be 7 o'clock tomorrow. So the link is there, and I'll be sending you the link tomorrow anyway as well. So this is your opportunity to get coached, answer your questions. So whatever you have, then please do call in. If you have any questions that you want to submit in advance, then feel free to do that as well. That's perfect. Then on Wednesday for workshop 2, we're going to be looking at the 7 freedom business killers. Listen, if building a business that gives you the lifestyle that you want was easy, everyone would do it. But here's the thing, they don't do it. So I want you to join me on Wednesday, again at 7 o'clock. And I will be talking you through what could kill your business before you even get started, which obviously we don't want that. So join me for that. Now it's time to take action. Remember, action allows the reception of your vision. It allows it to become manifest. So what I'm going to do is I would love for you to come into the Facebook group, and I would love to know what's your big aha from today's session. Now, if you post in the Facebook group and on your social media, you get an entry into the competition. When you go to the this page here, the inspire.yasminvorji.com/free range contest. You will see all the instructions that you need. I'll be updating the link for the Facebook group just after we come off the session. Create your vision board and don't forget to share in the group and on social as well using the hashtag We Love Freedom Business, hashtag Tiny Time Big Results. So every time you post in the group, on social, each post gets you an entry into the competition. So the more you do, the more you entries you get into the competition. Whoop, whoop. Okay, perfect. So I'm not thinking about doing that. I love vision boards, Peggy. Yes, I know I love them too. Kathy says, I'm in. Fantastic. Wow, great prize. Yes. Helen, good that I can't come tomorrow. I'm already on a course. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Helen, if you, and this is for anybody that can't make it, please do post your questions in. If you can't make it live. And remember, we will have a catch-up call on Saturday as well, but don't worry. Kathy says, I'm working tomorrow evenings, won't be there. Hope to be at the Q&A on Thursday. Yep, see you on Wednesday. Perfect. Oh, working Wednesday evening too. That's no problems at all. I'll be here. I show up. I'll do my bit for you. Okay, because remember, you'll be able to watch the replays as well. Okay, fantastic. Let me make sure that we haven't forgotten anything. Okay, so post your big ahas, come into the Facebook group, and get creating on your vision board. I can't wait to see that. That really gets me very, very excited. So don't forget, this is how you enter the competition. Just go to that URL and you'll be able to see all the details. And I will see you tomorrow for the Q&A call. What time are we on? Oh, look at that. 3 minutes to go. Happy days. And I will see you for the Q&A call. And if I'm not seeing you tomorrow, I will see you on Wednesday for workshop 2. Listen, let me go back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere yet. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Hello. Listen, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I've had an absolute blast. I hope you have got so much food for thought from that session. I always love spending time with you. So thank you so much for being with me today. And I will catch you at our next session. Remember that you've got the page, the helpful event links, which is inspire.yasminvorji.com/helpful event links. That gives you all the links that you need. And the if you're not in the Facebook group, then do come into the Facebook group. And that's where we can continue the conversation. And that's really where it would be great to see you there. Mad says, great stuff. Thank you very much. You are so welcome. Thank you, Yasmin. Brilliant as always. Thank you, Kathy. Brilliant. Thanks so much. Thanks, Helen. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you so much. Listen, enjoy the rest of your evening, your day, wherever you might be. If you're watching this as a replay, have a great day and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.